Fallout 4 modders have been up to some pretty crazy shenanigans over on the Nexus, creating some really interesting new mods that are going to completely change the way you play Fallout 4. This week we will be covering some of those mods, but also a couple of these standard old weapon and armor mods. The really interesting stuff though is going to come at the front end of this video here, where we have some really cool gameplay changes that are going to completely change the way you approach Fallout 4. One of them's pretty minor, but the other one is pretty dang huge. So let's go ahead and jump into it because these are some mods that we really need to discuss. Starting off with a pretty simple one known as the Easy Ammo Vending Machine by dnfrealtec, a mod author I've not heard of before, but one that is going to be a pretty cool mod that I'm probably going to keep in my load order for quite some time, especially considering this just got a new update that's going to make it even better than it was before. Now, originally this Easy Ammo Vending Machine was just that, an Easy Ammo Vending Machine. A vending machine that you could go up to, use your caps to buy whatever ammo you needed. It was really cool, and the way that it works is super intuitive. Originally, this is just a settlement item. You craft it at your settlement under the store's weapons category, the same way you would craft a weapon vendor, except now it's going to be an ammo box that allows you to have as much ammo as you need very easily, and is super configurable. When you head up and interact with this machine, it's going to open a trade menu. But what's really cool is that this automatically detects whatever ammo is in your inventory, or rather, the weapons that are in your inventory and the ammo that is required for them. So if you are holding only shotgun shells are going to be available at the ammo store. Which might seem a little weird because you can't buy the stuff that you need, but chances are you're going to need the stuff that you're carrying. If you need specific ammos, you can always go to a regular vendor, but this is going to specifically sort out exactly what ammo you need for the guns in your inventory. It automatically detects that. And what's really cool is this automatically works with any modded ammo. If you're using munitions, if you're using the new Niher mod that uses the custom added discs that are only usable by his mod, it just works. It knows that that's the ammo that you need, and so it puts it in the shop and it sells it to you. And that is so cool. What a great way to get ammo when you're really low. It's just there and it just works. Now, like I said, this thing is configurable. If you head over to the right side of this machine, there is a little crank handle. If you interact with that device, it'll actually let you set exactly how much ammo is allowed to be sold by the machine. I believe by default it's like 500 or 600. But you can up that to 1,000, you can lower that to 100, depending on how you want to balance your game, if you think that this is something you need to balance. In my opinion, you're spending your hard-earned caps on ammo, so quite frankly, as much as you want to crank, this is totally justifiable. Now, this was already a really great mod, one that I wanted to cover. But since I first did the footage for this mod, and since I'm recording this now, there has actually been an update that allows you to find these things out in the world. They're not just a settlement item. They can actually be found over at huge places. That can be cities like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, but you can also find them in bigger faction establishments like maybe the Pridwin or the Railroad headquarters. Places that you're going to be traveling quite frequently when you're doing quests, and maybe you'll need to get some more ammo than these standard merchants are selling. I think that that is a super cool thing. This also eliminates the need to go find a vendor who happens to be selling your ammo type, because not every weapon vendor is going to have the ammo you're looking for. This one always will, and that is super cool to me. This mod is honestly really amazing. Vending machines is a topic I've seen before that people really want. It usually comes in the form of some kind of a crafting machine that allows you to trade caps for an item in the crafting menu, but this is like basically an NPC in a box. It's really cool. The modding work here is fantastic. The custom model looks great and it fits right in Fallout 4, and it just functions in an amazing way that I enjoy quite a lot. So, an excellent entry by Morita K, otherwise known as dnfrealtec. This is some pretty cool stuff, and I'm going to be using this thing for quite some time. I'd love to see this exist maybe in the future for weapons and armors as well. Now, the next mod that we're checking out is by far the star of the show for me today. We're checking out Stealthy Takedowns, a 2024 Merry Modding Days mod by BP42S. This is a mod that people have been asking for a very long time. A mod that allows you to enter stealth and use the takedown animations that are already in the game, but at will. The takedown animations are pretty random in vanilla Fallout 4. Sometimes they're triggered in combat, sometimes they're triggered from stealth, but usually it's pretty unreliable. This mod makes it so that if you are in stealth, you will be able to guarantee a takedown kill because you earned it using Fallout 4's honestly awful stealth system. You have no idea how difficult it was and the mods I had to add to actually get footage for this mod, because man, sneaking around in Fallout 4 can be pretty difficult if you're not using a stealth boy. Of course, use a stealth boy, you should do that. When I'm trying to get footage and show off the animations included in this mod, it's kind of hard to do that when you're invisible, so I had to kind of do it the hard way. Either way, this mod is fantastic. It's a heavily scripted, wonderful mod that makes it so that you can use takedown animations at will, and it automatically detects the kind of weapon you're using. If you're using your pistol, it'll use that animation. If you're using a rifle, same thing. If you're unarmed, etc. It's not going to require anything, it just works. You need to walk up to an enemy, wall and sneak, and undetected, mind you. If you get detected, the option for this will go away. If you remain undetected though, a new prompt will pop up on the side as you approach an enemy that will say, takedown. You press R, and then they get taken down. Pretty simple. It's right next to the pickpocket button, pretty seamless, a UI that actually works really, really well. Now, you don't get to do this immediately. If you want to be able to use this function, you're actually going to have to get some perks. You're going to need to be pretty sneaky, so you're going to get some perks in Sneak, but also, if you want to unlock this prompt, you're going to need a rank in Mr. Sandman. Now, that's honestly pretty cool, because I feel like Mr. Sandman almost never comes up for me, a lot less than it did in previous games, but having a new use for it to actually do takedowns anywhere is really, really cool. I kind of like that quite a lot. This mod is going to completely redefine stealth gameplay, allowing you to really sneak around and not even need to use your ammo. Especially if you're a melee build, I think this is a fantastic little mod. And it's going to add some nice utilization to some existing elements of the vanilla game, like the Mr. Sandman perk, which is normally not really worth taking, but now is pretty dang cool. It's a very simple mod that works right out of the gate. Download this thing and it'll start working in your game. Go get that perk and you can start having fun immediately. And it really is a lot of fun. And it'll actually make you want to pursue stealth, which I feel like I've never really wanted to make a stealth build in Fallout 4 because it never was worth it before. But now, I think it is. Now, the next mod we're checking out is going to be a bit more of the traditional stuff we see on Mods Weekly. This is the Modern Warfare 2022 ISO 9mm by Aikowowo. Aikowowo. Something like that. This is going to be a pretty interesting little PDW. Sort of like a body kit for a Glock almost, but I think this actually is its own rifle. It's a pretty confusing looking thing. I'm not really familiar with this one. That being said, it's a pretty cool looking little weapon and one that's very different from most things we see on the Nexus. If you are a modern tactical user and you have a load order that this would fit in, you might not have a weapon quite like this, and so I'd say that this is a pretty good one to grab. This is going to be a COD port, so of course it's going to come with beautiful models and textures and of course custom animations that are ported very well into Fallout 4. Not only do you get first-person animations, you get third-person as well, and of course a ton of attachments over at the weapons workbench that allow you to customize this thing to your liking. Tons of really cool stuff, different muzzles and barrels, as well as a bunch of different optics that are going to rely on a couple of different mods. This mod is going to require see-through scopes if you would like your scopes to function, at least all of them. Some of them function without it, but some of them do not. It's going to require the COD modding framework from Stooge, of course, because it's going to use a lot of assets from that, and there's also an optional requirement for tactical reload. If you want tactical reload animations, that's going to be required, but if you don't, it is not necessary. If you want to get your hands on this little SMG, you can find it by using the cheat commands by doing help ISO 9 and spawning it in, or you can head over and craft it in the chemistry station. At the very least, there is a crafting recipe, but it is not added to the leveled list. Hopefully we'll see that sometime in the future for you modern tactical users, so you can actually go and find these weapons out in the world. It's a pretty cool one, so it'd be nice to see it on enemies, and especially gunners. I think this would fit them pretty dang well. A nice simple weapon mod, but the only standalone weapon in today's video. The next mod we're checking out is actually going to be a bit different because it's a little bit of a pack of mods. We're checking out A Better World, the 14th Armament pack, which is going to include a brand new set of armor as well as 3 new weapons. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, A Better World is going to be a huge, gigantic mod for Fallout 4, similar to that of Fallout London, which is going to bring in a bunch of new factions, a new world space, and a bunch of fun new stuff for Fallout 4. This is going to be just a taste of that, showing off one of the faction's main sets of armors, which is completely upgradable. It features light, medium, and heavy versions, and they are all segmented armor piece, and it also comes with its own under armor. You're also going to get 3 new weapons, a pistol, a rifle, and a heavy weapon. You're going to get the 14th pistol, which is going to be sort of a take on the Crusader pistol from Fallout 76. You get the 14th rifle, which is sort of like a handmade rifle with some interesting fusion between ballistic and energy damage. And you're going to get the 14th shoulder-mounted machine gun, which is going to be a massive version of the shoulder-mounted machine gun. The same one that Spady made, actually. I'm pretty sure it's the same models, animations, and everything. Now, what's really great about this mod is you're not only going to be getting new armors and weapons, you're also going to be getting a new dungeon to explore. If you want to get your hands on any of these items, you're going to need to head over to the newly marked Bunker A14 on your map, where there is a nice little dungeon for you to go through, which will allow you to obtain all of these items. And they're pretty fun. The weapons are very unique. They're all based on existing mods or existing weapons in the base game, but with some heavy modifications that make them very different. Like I said, this is a pretty technologically advanced set of weapons and armors here, some techno raiders of some kind, I think. And you have a mixture of ballistic and energy damage and a really, really cool effect for each of these weapons that gets changed depending on how you upgrade it at the weapons workbench. These items are not added to the level list as it is supposed to be from the area that this mod is going to demonstrate. But like I said, you can go and get it in a dungeon, you can get one-of-a-kind versions of each of these, and then you'll have a nice, really cool, unique set of armor and weapons for your character. Overall, a really cool taste of what we're getting in A Better World. I don't know if you've been following that project or not, but if you haven't, you should really check it out because there's some awesome stuff going on there, including a bunch of new features that are going to be fantastic for Fallout 4. A truly breathtaking new world space, some fun new quests, and a bunch of cool new items, and this is only a taste of that. And finally, we're checking out a nice little armor pack known as the Resident Evil Revelations FBC Commissioner and Agent Armor Pack by Section. We've been covering a lot of Section ports recently, and this one is going to be pretty cool as well. This coming over from Resident Evil Revelations, you get a pretty interesting set of armors. One of these is going to be just a regular suit. It also comes with a face mask, but I'm more interested in the regular old suit. It is going to look like a suit. It's not crazy different from anything in the base game, but it is different. So it's another suit to add to your collection. But the real star of this mod for me is going to be the FBC Security Agent Armor, which is going to have a nice ballistic vest over a shirt and tie, a really cool riot helmet, some pants, holsters, pouches, all the stuff you would need. It looks really, really nice. And in my opinion, and this is going to make a whole lot of sense, I think this is a great armor for a zombie apocalypse style load order. Because there are two different versions of this armor. There's the standard version, and then there's a version that is just absolutely smattered with blood from head to toe, which is just something I think I would expect to see in the zombie apocalypse. You're just covered in the wreckage of what you've been walking through. And that can fit pretty well in Fallout as well. These are some pretty interesting, sort of retro-ish versions of armors that I think fit pretty well in Fallout 4. Not to mention you're getting a good little pack of them, so it's not just one set of armors. You're going to get actually 3 armors and 2 helmets, but 5 pieces altogether if you don't include the really eerie face mask included in this mod. Honestly, the style here of the sort of military police look for dangerous situations like a zombie outbreak is really cool, and I think it's something that I'd like to see more of in Fallout 4. I really wish this had level-less integration, or at the very least some form of integration where you maybe only find it at police stations, but instead all of these items are going to be craftable over at the chemistry station, which is typically the case for these ports. Even still, it's a really cool set of armors, one that I quite enjoy, and it's why I wanted to feature it here. With this mod and any of the other mods in this video, if you'd like to try any of them out, they will all be linked down in the description below. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider dropping the video a like. It really helps out the channel, and it's free. If you'd like to support my work directly, however, you can use my link down in the description to check me out on Patreon. That will be great if you'd like to support my work directly, whether it's the videos here on YouTube or the mods I make on Nexus, but of course, it is completely optional. Something you should not feel like you have to do, just there for those of you who want to. With that, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!